And obviously, whatever you concentrate on or a combination of the both, people have to find you. In the old days, search, you'd load up some meta tags, you'd have a good title tag and some of that. Search has evolved so much, it continually evolves. There's many players, but I guess Google still drives search. What's the latest in search engine optimization? Is organic still viable, or do you have to pay, and what advice would you give?
All right, so probably the biggest change in recent history is the launch of Google Hummingbird, which is a completely new ranking formula that Google uses to decide where a website ranks for a specific keyword. The old ranking algorithm focused a lot more on things like keyword density, as you mentioned, focusing on getting those keywords stuffed into various tags on the website. Hummingbird's different in that it tries to focus on the intent. It tries to infer the intent of the search. It's more conversational, trying to answer the questions that people are typing into Google. So that's a major distinction. It's not an update to the old algorithm. It's a completely new algorithm. Having said that, good old Google Panda and Penguin updates that were made to the old algorithm are still being incorporated into this new algorithm, because again, ultimately what Google's trying to do is promote a stronger user experience, better focus on stronger content and usability. So there are things that were taken from the old algorithm and plugged into Google Hummingbird, but that's probably the biggest change as it relates to organic optimization. Another big change that happened that was more, I kind of look at it as more of like an extension of the Hummingbird updates, because it kind of all happened around the same time, was Google is blocking organic keyword data in Google Analytics, which might sound a little bit crazy, because from a marketing standpoint or a website administrator standpoint, it's harder to understand which keywords are matching up with the user intent. But again, Google's trying to drive people away from focusing so much on keywords, and they're trying to get people to just focus on providing valuable, useful content. So those are kind of the two things, semi-related, but two things that have changed on the organic side of things in recent history.
And Dave, when I search for Dave Scareppa, it used to be to go right to you, maybe you're at the contact page of aztecweb.com, and that would be your first thing. Now it's probably going to be one of your social media things, a Twitter feed or a YouTube video or a blog post or something. It seems that those things are getting captured and crawled and chronicled faster than some of the old things we were targeting.
Yeah, also there's a famous Czech hockey player named David Scareppa, so you'll get that too.
I thought that was you.
Yeah, no, and there's also another artist, Dave Scareppa, which is really confusing because he's my age. So anyway, that's not me. And anything bad that you find, that's also not me.
So those images weren't.
Right, yeah,
that's your story. Okay.
One time in college.
Safe search off. Okay.
But no, you're right. They're trying to get whatever they can get their hands on about you. I mean, Google's. It's not really a secret that they use pretty much every tool at their disposal. In fact, we had to shift some of our development practices here, because they would even, if you sent a link through an orphaned link through Gmail, they were reading those and then sending Googlebot out to spider that link. So we were having development links that only we thought we were sharing privately with clients get spidered because it was going through a Gmail account. They're just like, anything that they can do to figure out and have an advantage to spider the web, they're doing. So, back to my earlier comment about advertising, it's really kind of frightening how good these companies are getting at finding anything on the internet about you and using that for their own benefit.